My past will outlast me. Ask me if I agree with my choice.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the second edition of the Roundtable Show After Dark. For those of you that saw the first one, you'll know that this show just kind of came about because there's some conversations that don't fit in my podcast review show, but they come from a really inspired place, and I think that's one of the main things that's going on in our collective right now is information sharing just from every source that we seem to just be like universally connected right now. The right people are talking about the right things to the right people at the right time. And that's where this conversation came about on social media between myself and Rainetta Jones. Her and I are going, and our other guest, Big Ace, are going to have a conversation tonight about how society and the programs hidden within it create criminals and Manchurian candidates. And we can even share some of our own experience as a couple that have come up in a certain financial bracket and found that we were subject to certain government programs that other financial classes weren't, right? And there was no way to get them out of our lives. So I think this is going to be a wonderful overlay, and I'm so honored to have you guys here on the second edition of this show.
Hey, welcome. Oh, you're wearing a typical skeptic sweater.
Yeah, that's where all of my story starts. To be honest, I came awake on Rob's show.
Oh, Rob's show. Okay, because I was like, what does it say? Is it saying sheep? I was like, oh my God, skeptic. Oh my God, that's so cool. That's so cool. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
and on a side note, like we've watched both of you on Rob's show, so this is kind of cool for me. I'm trying, like, this is so cool. Like, thank you so much for doing this. This is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Rainetta, by the way, and that is Big Ace. Big Ace, introduce yourself. Let the people know who you're. Okay, I'm Rainetta. Blah blah blah. Nobody cares. Anyway, so Big Ace. Oh my God, Don reached out to me online. He said, "Hey, you want to do a show?" Because he posted the lyrics. I mean, the most horrendous lyrics you'll ever read, right? About, a Puffy song. And I was just like shocked, like, oh my God, this isn't a song.
Ain't that ironic?
Huh? Say that again?
Ain't that ironic? That's ironic.
Yeah, and like
we were talking about the same thing along those lines.
Yeah, the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he posted the lyric.
To do it. Remember, I said, let's go. We need to do this.
Yeah, no, we're doing it. We're doing it, right? So Big Ace reaches out to me like the day before, and then Don Rogers posts the lyrics, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, hey, Rainetta, you want to do a show? I was like, yeah, but there's someone you need to bring on the show. And he goes like, Big Ace. I was like, yeah, that's the guy. So Big Ace, this is let's start from the beginning. I'm going to tell the people my life in these programs. Mine started in high school. They start in high school. They do this to the kids in high school. The brain entrainment, okay? The weapons. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? This is not about race because they're doing it to the entire United States, right? But they're doing it to classes of people or segments of the population differently. Okay. And one of the things you got to understand is that there are whole segments they have not started doing this to yet. Okay. And they can't turn it on everyone all at once because then everyone will know the program is real. Right. So what they do is they scale the program. So like if you go into Black neighborhoods, the weapons on the Black neighborhoods are on, hot, and heavy.
Yes.
Okay. If you go into some Hispanic neighborhoods, it depends. Like if it's like really, really 100% low income, the weapons are on intermediate, right? If you go into white neighborhoods, usually they're individual targeting. Okay. Now I think that's changing with Trump, with the whole Trump thing, whatever. Now I think they're actually targeting whole white neighborhoods. Well, they said they are. To the FBI. They actually said they are. So we know that they're turning the weapons on now. Now, I think for me, when you segment the population, In the Black neighborhoods, they try to turn the young Black boys into criminals. In the white neighborhoods, they try to get them into drugs. These are weapons. The drugs are weapons. Listen to me. The drugs, the fentanyl, it is weapons. It is not your children just waking up one day and deciding to do drugs. No, it's a weapon that's on them. Okay? The other thing that people need to know about these weapons is that the weapons can change, and they start early. They can change the sexual, they can sexualize children and create sexual deviancy. Okay? Whether they're teenagers or they're young adults. Okay? So this is something that Caucasians need to understand how the weapons are on them. Whereas for Black people, it's more like trying to get them into like blue collar crimes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, just real quick, just off camera, Spinja's son, my stepson, is here, and he's been on a couple of shows with me. He is actually multicultural mixed race, and he has had some substantial issues in regards to technology, and it literally seems like they can phase him on and off. Like one minute he is the greatest young man, he's 16 years old, and then all of a sudden he is a blank drone that will not even answer you by looking you in the eye. And like they
telling the truth.
He is Jamaican.
Yeah, so he's an eighth, his great grandmother was Jamaican. His grandfather was from India. And then
like that,
they moved to Guyana. And then on our side, like this is on his father's side. And then our side, we also have Ojibwe.
Oh,
into
yeah. Like if you go to Jamaica in the Caribbean, the weapon is on hot there. And the people just think it's gang activity. No, it's not. It's weapons. Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, Barbados, weapons.
My step-grandpa was Trinidad.
Yeah, okay. Like in the 90s, that's when they turned on the weapons in the Caribbean. Haiti, gangs. That's how you see the weapons at work. Gangs and the best person to talk to about that, Big Ace. Your turn to come in.
I'll go back. Let me bounce around for a minute. I'm gonna hit where they were just saying how he could look you dead in the eye and won't say nothing. That's what we call being stuck. The program, how it see, it's names for everything this stuff do, and nobody's exempt, and everybody goes through this stuff. I mean, everybody. Yeah. Some people just don't realize what it is. A lot of people just don't realize what it is. And to demonstrate how they don't realize what it is, just look at the world. Everything is going to come. This program sets the tone of the country. It sets the tone through the behavior of the people. And when it sets the tone through the behavior of the people, that's when you're going to see everything is going to come in the millions. Robbery, rape, murder. Look at the music industry. Just take it by storm. Look what's going on. I've been talking about this for a long time, some decades. But you know what? I had to wait for the people to catch up. I had to almost do this and just wait for it to fall in my lap. Now it's here. It fell in our lap. It fell in our lap a couple of weeks ago through the music industry. And I just said, and I was patient, and I just waited, and here it is. Here it is. Ain't nowhere around it. Like I say, it's on every segment of corporate, music, movie and film. And it's on the kids, it's on the babies. Yeah. This thing is a beast. It's a name for this thing. They try to you know, it's different terms and different names that they calling this stuff, like targeted individuals. Targeted individuals is the same thing we're talking about. It's millions of people around the whole world that's talking about the same thing. But what we need to do is we need a platform where we can bring it all into one, because it's scattered. Everybody's talking about it. This person in New York don't know me. This person overseas don't know me, but it's going on overseas. It's going on in New York. And we just got to put it out there the right way. So you take what's that, Rainetta, in Cuba?
You're muted.
Yeah, it's called the Havana syndrome. Same
The
thing.
Havana syndrome.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay. I've been talking about this for decades.
That's when they aim the weapons at the head to cause brain
I've been
damage.
talking about this for decades, but I was just not talking about it. I was talking about it. I was educated through this stuff because it actually was on me in a place that gets everybody's attention, called the ADX Federal Supermax. Some of your biggest names are there. El Chapo, Larry Hoover. I mean, some of your biggest names is in that place. And that's why I discovered it being on me. And once I discovered it was on me in solitary confinement, they was trying to take me out with it, man. I had to learn. I had to learn this stuff. I had to learn it was war in there. I had to literally sit and take all the torture through it and learn the different techniques, torture techniques that they use against you with it. And see, when you understand that this thing comes through the audio cortex, when you understand that it comes through the visual cortex, when you understand that it clones on to the audio cortex, the visual cortex, the sense of taste, touch, smell, this is when it gets real. This is when you understand how this program is able to capitalize and actually mimics you all day, all around the clock, and never cuts off. Because it comes through the visual cortex. It sees what you see. It hears what you hear. We're dealing with cybernetics. We're dealing with AI. EEG cloning, hive mind, transhumanism. That's AI is the future. And this is how they playing it. This is how they playing this, man. This is running the world. This is how they run the world, through this technology.
Big Ace, I just want to jump in there really quick. I know people that have watched my stuff have heard it before, but I just wanted to share it with you. I was 14 years old and I lived in a town that had the region's biggest Canadian broadcasting system tower in it. And my mom was driving the school bus, and I was about 13 or 14 years old. And I started hearing this man's voice in my head, and it was just, you should kill yourself. You should go. And my mom is driving my school bus, and I'm looking at her, and all I can hear is this man going, you should kill yourself. You should kill yourself. Go home and kill yourself. And I literally went home and took my stepdad's rifle off the wall, put it in my mouth, and the neighbor girl came to borrow a Nintendo game and shook me out of whatever was going on. But I was literally about to exit this existence because of something that was speaking to me in my head. It wasn't until recently that I put all of the alignment together, like this place had kidnappings, hostage takings, suicides, and it was a small town, like I mean a rural town, and the amount of anomalies that were violent just do not make sense.
Do you know how many people in this world go through what you just explained and take the easy way out and go boom? How many people in this world that walks into the schools and go boom? How many people in this world that walks into the Walmart? I told you this thing comes, it sets the trends. People don't just wake up and go shoot up no school. People don't just wake up and walk into Walmarts and shoot up Walmarts. This is new stuff in the new millennium, basically. This is program behavior at its finest. It's thought steering.
Yeah,
it's thought steering. And
I was about to say something. Can I interject really quickly?
Go ahead.
All right. So three people you wanna know, okay? Who are the masterminds behind this technology? Okay, Robert Duncan. Okay, Robert Duncan. Ewan Cameron. He was up in Canada. You should know who he is. And then the most important one who created this beast system for the 21st century is Colonel Michael Aquino, Mind Wars. Okay, because they said that warfare should not be like battlefields with tanks and planes. They said the war of the 21st century is here. The battle space is the mind. Okay, so because the audience might be new to this, these are the three people. And also think about Fritz Springmeier. Read all of his books. Even though you may not be religious, he has a religious tint to it. But in his books will give you some of the old ways they laid the mind control. The mind control today is all Michael Aquino and the World Economic Forum, Yuval Noah Harari. And there's another one who's he's actually the most horrific of them all. He's oh God, I think he's a professor at damn, I can't remember his name. He goes into what attribution. His favorite word is attribution, which is you're dead. You know, when we attribute the target, you're done for. Okay, but I can't remember his name. So these are some of the names you want. So Robert Duncan, Ewan Cameron, Colonel Michael Aquino, to study about this program, Fritz Springmeier. Okay, so these are the basis. If you want to understand this program, you got to get into their reading material. Okay, now who built the infrastructure for the program? The infrastructure for the program was built by former NSA chief. Shit, I just forgot his name. Damn, they're blacking out my mind. Okay, he was a former NSA. They turned on him. Like when he came out about this program, they turned on him. But he actually built the program for terrorists. And the program was hijacked by a certain group, the group who's running it now, and then they turned it on the world's population. Okay, I'm gonna remember his name. His name is former NSA. Let me look him up. Former NSA. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I actually saw something in my scrolling the other day that relates to this. I have never shared my screen, so I'm going to give this a try.
Yeah.
Just 1 second here.
Okay, William Binney. William Binney. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are some of the names that you need to look into. So William Binney. William Binney built the technology. You don't mind if I continue talking, right?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so William Binney is the one who actually built the technology for the digital prison, but he didn't build it for us. He built it for alleged terrorists. The system that was built by the NSA was taken and they steal everything and weaponize it, and then weaponized and then turned as a weapon on the entire planet. The one who actually built the program, like the infrastructure, the internal mechanism of how it runs, is Colonel Michael Aquino and Dr. Robert Duncan. These are the two you need to look into. Okay, let's talk about things like hearing voices, okay? You are not schizophrenic when you hear voices in the 21st century. Let me say this again. You are not schizophrenic if you hear voices in the 21st century. I have to say this again, okay? You are not schizophrenic if you hear voices in the 21st century, okay? The reason...
I'm gonna say this one word, and then I'm gonna send it back to you. It's important right now to get this in where you're at right now before we lose it. See, this program has to start somewhere, and where it starts is the alleged voices. the alleged sounds, because everything is biofeedback. Like I tell you, this thing clones on, it's wireless. Get that to your head. It's wireless and it clones on to your frequency. Everybody has a frequency and it clones on to your frequency. It clones on to your senses. The hearing, the touch, the taste, the smell, the sight. It clones on. And through the hearing, you can hear it, it can hear you. It sees what you see, it hears what you hear. You hear them. So this is how they get it to you, is biofeedback technology. And it always starts with the alleged voices, but the voices is not voices. Guess what? It's a program. Back to you, Rainetta.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
Like, you can see what I'm sharing or no?
Yeah. That's perfect. That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
the round
that
table?
goes back to 1974.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are just saying like this might be a possibility now, though they've had it since the 70s.
What's that?
Like
the
voice of the skull.
The V2K. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But see, everything is timing. Everything is
No,
timing.
the V2K is older. When they started playing with radio waves.
Exactly.
It's earlier. That's the 1800s, and that's the British. Go ahead.
See, the more this is talked about, and the more that this gets out, but they got to hear it from the right people like us. Everything this thing do, how it targets the stomach, the gut, how it targets you with the migraines, the sound effects, the nervous system, how it hits you, how it shuts down your encroaches on your saliva glands, your whole gland system. When people hear us speak, they understand and they begin to realize that, hey, this is what this been all along.
I wanna come in and say this. So let's get into the technology, right? So when it clones your senses, your sight, your hearing, your taste, touch, feel, even your ESP, okay, extra sensory perception, like your psychic abilities, okay?
All of that.
So the touch is called haptic technology. Haptic, okay? That's when it's cloning your touch, okay? Because everything is a frequency, right? How they start is they have to clone the brain, the signals. Everyone's brain emits a signal outside of the brain. Okay, this is why they want you with a cell phone. Why? Because the cell phones are designed to clone your brain. When you interact with the cell phone, it is literally cloning your brain as you interact with it, okay? So that is how they build the EEG heterodyning. You see all the heart attacks that's taking place? That's EKG heterodyning. It is literally an AI technology taking people out.
Killing you in your sleep.
Yeah. And people are dying. And it's doing so via their cell phones. It's doing so via their Wi-Fi. Okay, let's look at FISA. The federal government reauthorized FISA, and Trump was no better. When they were trying to get that FISA without a warrant, they wanted the feds to have a warrant in order to put you into these programs. President Trump shut it down and reauthorized warrantless surveillance. Okay, and I have to go into this. I have to veer off into why FISA is important, because FISA is not just a law. It's not just about searching and surveilling your home. It's not just about surveilling your home. FISA is the infrastructure. This is why Congress exempted themselves from two things. Congress exempted themselves from the vaccines because they knew what was in there. They knew it was tag tracking technology in there. And the group, the group of people that are behind this is the same group of people that's behind FISA. And that's a little country in the Middle East that is an ally of the United States. That is the one behind all of this, all of it. We've done the research. We found them. It's them. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Every time you see someone goes and shoots up, you know, a gang rivalry, it's them because it's all coming through the technology via corporations. So FISA is not just warrantless surveillance. FISA is where the programs are kept. FISA is where the programs are run. Those programs are then delineated to your FBI, through your police, through your first responders, through InfraGard, okay? Then it comes down from there. Then it gets local to your local communities. Then it gets to your neighbor, and everyone is being paid as you're being sold. All of this goes back to FISA. The infrastructure of FISA, they don't want warrants, because warrants mean you got to open the books and tell us what you're doing. It means that if you come after me, I need to know why you're coming after me, and your docket's got to be open. Under FISA, the dockets are closed.
So
you're following? Go ahead.
Rainetta, what's that guy's name that created that whole program?
Oh, which one?
Dealing with the FISA thing.
Oh, FISA was
he created the program and they flipped it on him.
Oh no, you're talking about William Binney.
Yes.
No, William Binney is the one who created. Yeah. Well, not FISA, but he's the one that created the infrastructure.
Exactly. Yeah. He's talking. He said they can't get his help no more.
Yeah.
I think he deals with the.
They turned on him.
He's a mathematician. He's all kind of stuff.
Mathematician. Yeah. That's Binney.
He built that system up.
Yeah, he built it. Yeah. That's Binney.
They flipped it on him, just like this program we're speaking of with Robert Duncan.
Yeah, they did the same thing.
He helped him build this program that we're speaking about to the people right now.
That's the voice of God.
He didn't know that they were going to turn it on the American public.
Yeah, the whole planet. No one is safe.
That's right.
No one is safe.
That's what he claimed.
Yeah. So let's. I want to give the people some basis, right? Some basis before we go into like deep down the rabbit hole. So those are some of the people you need to look at, right? You need to understand brain entrainment. So when the voices come after they clone you, okay? That is clone your senses, clone your brain waves, clone your heart frequency. Cloning, right. And the most important cloning that they do is central nervous system cloning. None of this can work without cloning your central nervous system. And the way they, the way they clone your central nervous system is this shit. It's right here. This is how they do central nervous system. And I'm going to say something. All I can say is the worst cloners for CNS, central nervous system cloning, are not androids. That's all I'll say about that. That's all I'll say about that. I'll leave it as that. Okay.
You know, they patent, they patent the cell phones after the human nervous system, the body.
Yeah.
Because everything that the human body does, the cell phone mimics it. It mimics it. Okay, to use the FaceTime, it's the eyes to the person. This is how we see a human being. So when you pick up an Android, their way of mimicking that is through FaceTime. Okay, their way of mimicking the sound, the audio, the ears of a human is through the speaker of the phone. Their way of mimicking the voice, to speak the tongue of the person is through the microphone of the phone. It has sensors too. Like it can sense your phone, your body can, the phone can sense when it's on your body. It's all, and then it's a global tracking system too. With this wave, it tracks you no matter where you go, airplane, get in your car, no matter what. right where you're at. It's because of your nervous system, your frequency.
Yeah, I love where you're going with that, because it brings me to just a quick side story about biometrics and cellular devices. We actually were in a group hypnosis with a friend of ours, SOSQHT, Maya. You'll probably know her from Typical Skeptic as well. But she did a group hypnosis where we were off planet, and we saw Rob Kal-El was supposed to join us that night, but he felt ill, but just fell asleep, and apparently fell asleep with his phone in contact with him and his step tracker on. Now, during the session, we saw him in what would be called an astral projection. When he woke up during the entire time of the hypnosis, when he was present on the spaceship that we were on, his phone traveled thousands of miles an hour and millions of steps at excessive rates of speed. I'm talking 5,000 to 6,000 miles an hour, right? So his phone tracked his biometrics through the astral. That's how attached these devices are to us.
I want to say that you're telling the truth, because I went to a guy who was a Nazi, right? And he worked with the UK Ministry of Defense, dismantling pulling the technology out of people's bodies. But his thing, he was into torture. He was kind of, whatever. But he was the first one, even though he was kind of, he was the first one that tracked after the people took the Satan serum. Okay, after they were satanized. Okay, he found that they were emitting Bluetooth in the graveyards after they died. So they were tracking the people's spirits. Then there was another guy who had a Tesla. He was inside of his Tesla, and he passed by a graveyard, and it was a newly built graveyard for all the people who were satanized, who got Satan's serum, Lucifer's liquid into their bodies, right? And on the Tesla, this was a newly created graveyard for the liquid Lucifer people. On the Tesla, it was showing people were playing outside of the graveyard, but when he looked up, there was no one there. Okay, so yes, cloning. Yeah. And I just listened to a video, and I think this guy is the best guy when it comes to talking about this program. He worked with teaching people about these systems, and I don't like to refer other people to anyone, but he basically said they are tapping into the 8th dimension. And in the 8th dimension is where these entities are, and they're literally, and I call them the archons, they're literally tapping in there, and they're handing us over by putting the technology into your body, handing us over to these entities to be food. And that's basically what's going on. And that is the absolute truth. So this is why the technology mimics demon possession. When a person goes and they shoots up a school, you think, oh my God, they're demon possessed. Why? Because there is literal an entity attachment with this technology to entities in the unseen realm. Okay, and we have the evidence that they are literally tracking people when they die using Bluetooth signals on the other side. So yes, you are absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is very important right here, because we need to dispel this. Okay, you hear a lot about the Illuminati, this, the Illuminati. Oh, Jay-Z is with the Illuminati. P. Diddy is with the Illuminati. Oh, the Illuminati, they with the Illuminati. They're always throwing up the sign and all of that. Let's get this straight right now. The Illuminati that they talking about, that they don't know they talking about, is this program. This is it. This is it. Everything they call an Illuminati, they don't even have a clue. This program is it. I don't care what you want to call it in your head, you can call it that. But I tell you what the scientists call it that created this program. They call it the voice of God technology. That's what they coined this technology, the voice of God. The man that created it, helped create it, Robert Duncan. He'll tell you firsthand, This is what they coined this technology. So they coined it as the voice of God because they put so much into this technology because they say, okay, there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing no one could do about it. It's on everybody, the whole public. It's nothing they can't stop it. They write about that. You can't stop it. It never cuts off. 24/7. It just keeps going. It never cuts off. But this technology and its mission statement is what it does. It walks you to your death by any means necessary. That's what this stuff do. It's nothing good about it. Go ahead.
Just wondering, like, I know the higher ups and the higher ups and the higher ups beyond the shadow government have no issue swallowing one another. Do you think they're using this on their own people? Like, let's just throw a hypothetical out. They made Diddy do all the fucked up shit he did. Yeah,
Hey,
like program.
look, listen. We dealing with a technology that literally sees what you see. Nobody is exempt, not even me, nobody. It's just that the difference between me and a lot of people, I mastered this program, like literally mastered it. What it does with the nervous system, the point of all the different tortures that it do with the body to try to maintain your attention while you sleeping, while you trying to go to sleep, while you're driving behind the wheel. Everything that this program do, it's a manual. It's a manual. And this manual is massive, and this thing is lightning fast when it perpetrates as your thought pattern. Lightning fast. And to further delve into this a little bit more is, you know, when I was learning this program, they got me a few times with it. It got me good. They got me on one bank robbery. They got me. I did that time for that one, and I came back out, and within 55 days, man, was it Rainetta? I had 4 bank robberies that quick, and I had just served 18 years. Yes, I thought I had this program mastered. So look, I said, what do I do now? I came back in. I had to reveal all I knew. We got the transcripts. Rainetta got the transcripts. I got the transcripts. It took me 6 years. 6 years to get through the federal court with this. The judge said, hey, I said, look, man, this is what started everything right here. Listen good. They took me in for arraignment to arraign me on the 4 bank robberies. They gave me an attorney, and I whispered to the attorney, I said, hey, you need to tell this judge this, this, and this, and this. She said, what? I can't tell him that. She didn't have a clue. So I asked the court, may I address the court? He said, yes. I said, look, there's something that's trying to get me to plead guilty to 4 bank robberies, but it's not me. He said, whoa. He shut it down. He shut it down on the spot. And from that day on, I had became a study case. And they were trying to determine whether or not I was competent, mentally competent enough to assist the attorney and build a defense in a trial for the 4 bank robberies. So like I say, it took me 6 years. We dug up everything, had investigated everything. We was digging up everything, giving it to the judge. I wrote the torture manual on this. I wrote the torture manual on this whole program. They said, hey, where the hell did you learn this from? The judge said, hey, man, where did you learn this from? Let me ask you some questions. Again, to fast forward, this went on for 6 years. In the final analysis, you know what that judge said? The prosecutor was like, hey, man, we got him dead bang. I was just telling them I didn't do it. I didn't do it. The program did it. The program did it, not me. And in the final analysis, he told the prosecutor, he's like, look, what am I to say? That the man has been play acting in my court for 6 years? This is all in the transcript. Am I right or wrong, Rainetta? He said, this is what I'm going to do. He said, the only thing I don't know about this man during the period, 6-year period of him being a study case, is whether or not this man is a danger to himself, a danger to the public, and a danger to other people's property. He said, I think I'm going to send him back to where they've been doing the study on him in Springfield, Missouri, and for them to make the determination on his dangerousness. And if they so find that he's not a danger to himself, to other people's property, and to the public, then release him back to the community. I'm sitting here talking to you firsthand right now, educating the public about what I went through. This is no spook, it's no joke. You don't just get no federal judge to release a person on 4 bank robberies for no reason at all. Once they let me out, after 5 years, the judge ended up sealing the whole case under federal seal. But I got the transcripts, but the main case, they didn't want it in the law book for you to see, for nobody else to see that goes through this and had to go through what I went through to be able to walk out like me. So they sealed it. They sealed it. They sealed it and just sealed everything. And I've just been free ever since.
Wait, hold. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about how the music industry was used to create criminals in the Black community. I think the rock industry is for, like, the rock industry would be for white people, right? Unless you listen to rap or whatever, right? So, but he doesn't know the rock industry. He knows, like, the rap industry, right? So let's talk about how the music industry was used to create criminals in the Black and Hispanic community, and I guess parts of the white community too.
Okay, so you see, this program, you know, I don't like to give it.
I'm sorry, Puffy, what came out recently about Quincy Jones and Puffy have the blueprint of how to create criminals. Go ahead.
So this program builds the people and creates the people who they want to steer the entertainment as far as movie and film and all that. And what this program is so cold. Have you ever heard a song and you say, oh, I don't know why I can't get this song out of my head? Or I don't know why I can't get this hook out of my head. This song's been playing in my head all morning. It's just been going. That's what this program do. For speech, this program is so fast. It perpetrates at your thought pattern, but it's artificial programming. It's so fast that it can actually manipulate somebody to say something that they want them to say. That's called forced speech. Like, have you ever jumped the gun to say something? Oh, I didn't mean to say that. It just comes out. That's this program, man. This thing is no joke. It's no joke.
Let's get to Puffy and
Quincy
Jones. Yeah.
So Puffy is a product of this program. Puffy, the program built him, and everything that he's acquired and everything that he's done, he don't even have a clue that he's been steered the whole while with this program. And through Puffy is what you see today. Everybody around him, everybody that was involved with what he's doing, this thing is what it is, man. You take anybody that's in, see, let me go back.
Puffy, remember that war between East Coast, West Coast?
through this program, it's EEG cloning hive mind transhumanism. So when you look at what I just said, and you know what it is, it's just what it is. The hive mind of this program is that they see the American public, the world and the society and the people as like a beehive. And they look at it like everybody needs to be steered. Everybody needs to be led. So, because if they feel that we can't, it take a whole group of people to make a decision. And this is how they look at stuff like the music business and like the Puffy Circle and everything. And when you look at it, it's one person making a decision, ain't it? It's him.
Yeah.
It's him. That's why they coined it hive mind, where they put everybody on the same wavelength to think the same way, to do the same things, and how they start breaking them down is through sexual deviance. This is how you break down the ego. And once this thing breaks your ego, they use somebody like Puffy to do it. People want fame, they want everything, right? All the time, the program is on these young people too that's around him. So they get into these orgies and all of this stuff, and stuff get, you film all this stuff and you blackmail people. So you keep them in. And that's what this thing is about. Once you break down the human ego with these devious acts like this, it's a monster. Once you break down the ego, it's a wrap, man. You just like, once you break that ego down, it's like,
remember in the early,
you sell your soul. It's considered you done sold your soul.
Remember in the early 2000s with Puffy and Biggie, with Puffy, Biggie, and Tupac, and how they literally they literally used this program to create East Coast, West Coast rivalry.
Listen.
And then literally change the entire young Black boy's mind.
Listen.
Into a literal, this was trauma-based. JFK was for Caucasian people, trauma-based mind control. MLK was trauma-based mind control on Blacks. You see how it goes? You see how it goes?
Yep. You're right on point.
So let's get to create
I literally, back in 1997, I literally laid back with my arms folded and watched everything you just brought out your mouth. I said, look at this technology go to work. And I also said, in 1987, they ain't seen nothing yet. They ain't seen nothing yet. And remember, when I discovered this, it was no YouTube, it was no Instagram, it was no Facebook, it was no Google, it was nothing. It was none of that technology. And I learned this in solitary confinement. That's why I learned this at this program. And I kicked back in solitary confinement. And I said, whoa, I seen the first school shooting the Major 1 Columbine. I said, oh my God, here we go. I said, here we go. And this was 1997. And look at today. How many school shootings has it been since then?
Yeah.
I watched it, man. I watched it all the way to right now, as I speak. This technology.
I actually wanted to ask you about that too, because like I know, like as I've become more metaphysically aware and aware of what's going on in programs I'm probably involved in, mine goes back all the way to like public school where there's like abnormal private testing. I got invited to a thinking symposium where I can only remember the bus ride there and the bus ride back, and there's 8 hours missing, right? So I was just wondering, at what point what program did you first get? Right. I was a C student, and all of a sudden I was invited to the provincial thinking symposium, which is like a section of the country. I'm sitting with the smartest kids. My A student sister's sitting at home by herself.
Oh, and where was it?
Yeah. Oh, and it was 8 minutes from a military base. Just
You weren't a C student. That one of the things they do is they lower your grade on purpose in order to bring you into the programs. That's one of the things they do.
So I'm gonna go to you, and I'm gonna shoot right back to him. So look, that whole East Coast West Coast thing with Tupac and Biggie and all of that, and all the boom boom back and forth. That was this program. That was this program. And all you had to do was look how it escalated since then. It encroached on every segment of the music game. Look at Dolph. Look at all of these people that done died, man. People that shouldn't have never died. But you know what? This technology has blood on his hands. Everybody's blood on his hands. But you know who get the beef? The people get it. The person that pulled that trigger gets the beef. Not this program that programmed them to do it. But now I'm gonna go back to him and how you can go from point A to point B and not remember how you got there. You remember how you got there, but you can't remember along the way everything. This is thought blocking. Yeah. This is one of the hallmarks of this program. It blocks you. It blocks you. It blocks you. It can give you a thought and take it away. It does it to me all the time. It does it to me in podcasts. That's why I like working with Rainetta, because she's gonna bring me back. She's gonna bring me back because it steers you off course and it blocks you. It's famous for that, man. You got to be conscious of that one. Yeah.
I wanna talk to you about those programs, academic programs, because that's how they got me. But they got me through a sports injury, then threw me in the hospital. And then the next thing I heard was the train alarm. I remember pulling up to the hospital and them saying, "We're here." I don't remember anything else except ding. And then I woke up 2 stops from my house in the evening, in the middle of the night, and I was 15 years old. Okay? Yeah. That's this program. I want to show you guys something. This to show you how far back this program goes. Let me share screen really quickly.
Hold on, I'll just transfer
Rainetta
host to you.
Rainetta, can I jump in here real quick?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
This is important. I don't want to miss this with the people that's listening to this. Mm-hmm. You have to understand this is a wicked, vicious technology. And everything the body does, the concept of the nervous system and the energy and the frequency of the body, they mimicked that and created that cell phone. They created the cell phone. And you have to understand this. Everything that cell phone do, you do. Everything you do as far as the basic things like sight, hearing, and all that, the cell phone do. So you have to understand everything through the visual cortex is recorded. Everything is recorded. Everything that's heard through the audio cortex is recorded. This is how they master you. Everybody has a handler. This is how your handler is able to keep a handle on you every day, because they're coming through the visual cortex and they're coming through the audio. Everything is recorded. So every time they want to jot you back, they jot you back. With thought, they jot you back, jot you up, jot you up, jot you back. Jot this, all this program do. Back, forth, all day. Like an old antique clock with the pendulum on it, slinging back and forth, tick, tick. This is all this technology do, all day, all night, all around the clock. So keep in mind, everything is recorded. So this is how they try to become your memory. your memory. This is how they keep a hound on you. They know what you know. You don't have a clue this thing is on you. They see what you see, and they beat you to the punch with everything through the visual cortex. And this is what makes this thing so dangerous. Go ahead, back at you, Rainetta.
Okay, so this guy, John Storm, was one of the earliest models of them using this weapon, right? Let me share my screen here. Hold on. Yeah, I think it's this one. All right. Can you guys see the screen? Do I need to make it bigger?
I can see it.
Okay, this is his MRI. Okay, now we're getting into the technology. This is a chip they put deep in the center of his brain. This is the chip, another chip they put at the juncture of his optical nerve. This is the one behind his right ear. And this is one here, I think it's by his temple. There's a couple here, but this is the main one. And then another one here, okay? He was one of the first ones. This is him, he's dead now, John Storm. He said, besides myself, this is what he wrote to me when I showed him my MRIs, okay? Besides myself, I know a couple other known ultras. These were people who were specifically built by the government, Manchurian candidates, okay? Who have implant behind the left ear, because I showed him my MRIs, right? And the base of the skull. Besides my own, yours, he's talking about me now, is also the first one I've seen with the nano attachment at the junction of the optical nerve behind your nose. You know what that is? That's Elon Musk Neuralink.
I was just going to mention his name. I was just going to write it down.
Yeah.
That's Neuralink. Write it down because I've got something to say about it.
That's Neuralink.
Write that down.
And they're telling you now in the news. And a lot of these alternative truthers are pushing Elon Musk Neuralink, and we are the test subjects. You can see when I show you my MRI, you will see the Neuralink in my head.
So
okay?
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of abductees, alien my lab, also have the left ear at the base of the skull implants. I have that. I'll show you mine. And possibly one in the palm of the left hand below the middle finger. So that's one. He's one of the earliest ones in the United States they used it on, okay? And his testing grounds, the testing grounds that they did this to him was University of Rochester. Okay? This is my this is my brain. Now, this is me, my brain. This is what they did to my brain. So anyone telling you that they don't need technology, they do to a certain point. Okay, if they're tracking you, they don't need technology. To a certain point, they can control you without technology. Okay, but they want to be in your body. They want to know how your body operates. Okay, and they want to limit your potential if they think if they deem you a threat, or they want to accentuate your potential if they can use you. This is one of the MRIs of my brain. Look, you see the white? These are not calcium deposits. These are chips.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a chip. You see here?
Yeah.
This.
Just real quick. I've had a ridiculous, I didn't know, I've had a ridiculous amount of near-death experiences. And so I've had multitudes of x-rays done. And it's funny you bring this up because I've been hospitalized several times for long periods. And also, of all the x-rays, I've never been shown the ones of my head. And I've had it done several times. They will not show them to me.
Yeah, because they're chipped. They're chipped on your wired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it.
They didn't, as far as me, they would not give me. I fought for that for 6 years, that MRI. Remember, Rainetta, the court documents? The federal judge, in the final analysis, the federal judge, this is what he said. He said what he said as far as my dangerousness. He was sending me back for them to make the determination, and if they couldn't find me to be a danger, release me back to the community. And this is supposed to be on 4 bank robberies. Okay, I'm sitting here right now. Okay, the other thing I was going to say is, and then he said, I'm denying, because my lawyer fought for it for years. He said, I'm denying him the neurovial. This stuff right here, what you showing, Rainetta, I'm denying him that because I feel that it won't be productive. But at least release me to the streets. Yes.
Why is that important, guys? Why is an MRI important? Because the MRI proves the technology in the brain.
Yeah. He could have totally brought it to the attention of the entire world had he been provided the MRI as evidence, because evidence is entered into public record, then you just sort of.
And then we gotta be careful while we educating people about this technology. Although it's a form of mind control, when I was fighting that case, I didn't even use that term, because when you use that term, they play games around that. They try to say people are crazy, this and that. So I use the correct wording, which is thought steering. Thought steering, mental and physical torture. This is what this stuff does. Hey, and it does it to people unknowingly. This is what it does. Thought steering, mental and physical torture. That's what this thing does.
And the basis for it is Guantanamo Bay.
Oh my God! You don't want to go there.
Guantanamo Bay. What they did is when they were torturing the people, and Guantanamo Bay is not the only place where they do these tortures. Okay, wherever they do the torture programs, they record the frequencies. When they torture the victims, whether it's Guantanamo Bay or any other of their torture sites, most of them are underground, they record it and they get the frequencies from the victim's torture, and then they turn it into a weapon, and then they steer it at the public. One of the things I have to say is this. Everyone who is going through pain, okay, pain, the pain that you are experiencing, whether the degree is low, moderate to high, it's this program.
That's right.
Okay, it's not just schizophrenia. It's not just hearing voices. It's not just shooting up schools. It's also pain. And what they did is that when people go into the hospital for pain, they reclassify pain from the symptom of a problem to mental illness. And the reason why they reclassified pain under mental illness is so that the doctors automatically do not go look for the root. Because if there's pain, then the doctor says, okay, let's take a look at that area with an MRI. But if they put a chip in there, you see what I'm saying? Like they did with a whole 6-inch system they have from my vagina all the way up to my pelvic area. My gynecologist found it 6 inches deep. 6 inches deep. I have to say this, 6 inches deep, okay? When I went to get the images, they tried to have me kidnapped by men in black. Okay? Because I wasn't supposed to find the structure they were building inside of my body. And this is the reality.
Like,
and this is
some of the one of the
ahead.
main things, one of the ultimate main things about this program is the sex deviance of it. I mean, it's just, what word I'm trying to find? It's just overdone. It's just it's too repetitive through this stuff. It's just sex. They want to see you in the mirror. See, the dangers about this thing, like I say, is they coming through the visual cortex. Once I learned that, it was only one thing I had to learn about this technology, is how in that solitary confinement, I say, okay, I hear what I hear, right? I hear what I hear. And I said, but how am I being seen? Once I figured it out, through the eyes, I said, bingo, bango. And they was not hiding it. They don't hide it, especially with me. They don't hide this thing, man. I'm good with it, man. I'm good. You know, I just live with it, man. It's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is be educated about what it does. And you have to just master this thing, man. And once you master it, and while you mastering it, you got to make it a part of your belief system. Because if you don't have a belief system about this program and what it does and the dangers of it, you're just going to end up a statistic like everybody else.
Yeah, you okay. Let me just because I want to wrap this up by saying this. All crimes is this weapon. Not some, not half, not 10%, all of it. All of it. All of it. White collar crime, blue collar crime, the person who robs the neighbor next door, you know, the teenagers jumping people on the streets, okay, homeless people, all crimes are these weapons in every single country. Let me see this again. All crimes in every single country are these weapons. All drug usage. If you are a drug dealer, if you are in a gang, if you buy, sell drugs, it's this weapon. If you are addicted, it's this weapon. Your intelligence is this weapon. Whether you're high IQ, medium IQ, low IQ, even I don't believe in IQs, but whatever. Okay, it's this weapon. Your religious belief is this weapon. You experiencing the Holy Ghost is this weapon. I first came in contact with this weapon inside of churches. All of the people inside of the churches are EEG heterodyned. They are cloned. They're in a hive. The weapon knows if they begin to think outside of what their pastors are teaching them. If they begin to think outside what their pastors are teaching them, they will be tortured back into right think. If they persist in wrong think, the weapon goes active. Okay, well, that's religion.
Yeah. And you know, I say this one thing. You know what? Look, this is what they do to my wife. Every time this thing feels like it's losing
control,
stability of her, you know what they do? They attack her and give her, I'm talking about migraines out of this world. They hit her somewhere every time. And then when you look at the people out in Cuba, Havana, with the Havana syndrome, they got all that brain damage. And these is diplomats. These is government diplomats. Nobody believed them at first. Nobody believed the people, But guess what? I had long mastered this program before they even hit them in Havana. And when I seen it on the news, I said, look at this. And guess what? And you see what Biden did. Now they know there ain't nowhere around it. The Department of Defense, all of that stuff. Now they see, okay, the only one got this type of technology to do this to these people is Russia and who's the other ones they said over there?
Russia, China? No. They lied on that. It's the United States. The United States built this weapon. So it's the United States that's doing this to the people. They're trying to say it's Russia and China, so Americans... No, the United States built this weapon.
And then when you go way back in history, guess what? This stuff happened in Russia. They hit them in Russia along back in way back. In Russia, they did the same thing to the diplomats in Russia.
Yeah. During the Cold War, they were hitting each other. Yeah. This is where the weapon was built.
It was in Havana, right? The Department of
Havana syndrome. Havana syndrome was a limited hangout. During the Cold War, the US and the Russians were hitting each other with these weapons. Testing it out on diplomats, testing it out on each other. And both of them were actively denying the existence of these weapons. before they turned, well, and they turned it on the public. So no, it's not Havana syndrome. They were killing each other with these weapons and causing brain damage. But these weapons are far older. These weapons are far older. They were using radio waves. The earliest sign of these weapons were radio waves, which triggered off one of the first pandemics, which was the Spanish flu. That was nothing but radio waves.
So go into the database, the global database that they're working out of with this program, where they have, if you human, you have a frequency, you have a heartbeat, and we all know that this they're using on the American public, and they got this thing on everybody. So everybody who's walking out here who has a heartbeat is plugged into a central database. A central database, and everybody has a handler trying to, unfortunately, I have one, and they can't do nothing with me. I'm just off the chain with it, man. My thing is to educate the people, because I know so much about the program. We can teach people this stuff, what to exactly look for with this program, to know this thing is real, to know that what they're going through is a program, and it's not them. You take away this program, there's no mental health. There's no suicide. There's no, all of these terms they create, no bipolar, no all of these terms that they create and put in the books that they're working on out of in the global mental health society. If you take away this technology, there's no trash in the streets, ain't nobody using fentanyl, ain't no homeless people, ain't nobody killing people, ain't nobody shooting up the schools, ain't nobody raping some little baby or kidnapping some little girl.
No gang members.
It's none of this stuff. No gangs. The gangs is patent after this stuff. This the signature print on gangs, the signature print on this music business, is this technology. I'm gonna keep talking. Ain't nobody shut me up. I'm gonna keep educating the people. This is my mission. I don't care if you're white, you're black, I don't care whatever color you is, whatever, it don't mean nothing to me, man. The thing is, my job is more people we educate with this technology, man, the better off we're gonna be as a people. And the main mission with this EEG cloning, hive mind, transhumanism, is to take this thing from being human and drive it into the transhumanism into the future. They don't want humans to exist no more.
Nope.
AI is what they want because they want to live forever. And this is the only way they feel that they can live forever is with this technology.
Yeah,
AI.
I want to wrap it up with this. I want to show everyone this. Okay, guys, this, I've been saying this, okay? Stop listening to these people, these so-called truthers, who are telling you what they do is they're paid. They're paid to get snippets of videos of people committing crimes, and they keep playing those videos. These are the criminals, and they're not telling the people the truth, okay? What has to be done is everybody needs to find the extra signals coming off their bodies. I'm going to say this again. The human body should be at 0.02 hertz, 0.00 to 0.02. When this technology is on you, you go from 0.02 to higher, okay? So one of the ways you can find out if the weapon is directly on you is by getting an electromagnetic radiation detector. A tri-field meter, it's a little bit expensive, but it's really good, okay? Here's another one that's like $26, okay? The second thing you got to do, okay, if you want to know, get it, you scan your children's brain, you will find the signals and you will know, okay? The second thing you want to do, if you want to know if these weapons are on you, is when you run the tri-field meter or electromagnetic radiation detector along your brain, okay, there are certain key points you need to run it, okay? It will give you the exact frequency coming off the body. What you want to do next is you want to tie out the frequency. And the way you tie out this frequency is this. This is how you find who's doing it to you, okay? You see here, hold on. You just got rid of all. Hold on. Where is it? Let me close this. Okay. You see this? They changed it because I've been educating people, okay? I don't want to download it, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. When you find the frequency, this is the FCC data allocations chart. You're going to download this and you're going to find the frequency bandwidth. That will let you know who's trafficking you and who's hitting you. Okay, so first things first is you get one of these. When you scan your body, it's going to tell you, okay, it's 1,740 hertz. Then you go to the FCC data allocations. You're going to find, let's say it's 1,740. You're going to find hertz. Then you're going to find the band range, the range, and then it will tell you exactly who is hitting you. Okay. Yeah. And like I said to all the people, this is what it looks like. Well, this is what it used to look like. They changed it now because they're hiding it because people are waking up. Okay. This will let you know the exact hertz. And this is, you will find out who's trafficking you and who is making money off of you. People, this is modern day slavery. Digital. They don't do this and don't get paid. They get paid.
Modern day digital slavery.
Oh yeah, because they also mine crypto. When the body heats up, they use that energy to mine crypto. Okay, that's how wicked this program is. And you're run through and you're sold through the FCC. And all of this is housed under FISA. That's why they don't want warrants.
They want your energy.
Yes, they want your energy. So guys, I gotta run. But yeah, that's the most important thing. So get the meters, get the frequency detectors, download the FCC data allocations, find the frequency, you will find who's trafficking you.
Okay. Just again, thank you both for being here. I just want to end real quick. Like Big Ace and I kind of touched on, if you think there's something wonky with the way your kids are being educated by the public education system, any of their testing or interaction with the, well, it's anyway, with the public education system, investigate, because we didn't even get into what we went through with child protection and them trying to sexualize her son with us. We'll get into that another time.
Oh,
but
man.
like,
I believe it.
It's disgusting, man. Disgusting.
The shit that we could do another show on, we'll get back to. Yeah. But
can you touch on that just a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you got about 5 minutes, I'll run through as quick as I can. We were forced because of legal action to get involved with what is our version of Child Protective Services here in Canada, because her former spouse, baby daddy, had got them involved. At what point, you know, they were involved from his birth?
2 months after he was born, right up until the end of 2021, I believe. No, yeah. Far too long for somebody who has they have never found a claim against me. Like I was not like they had nothing on me.
Yeah. So jump ahead to near the end of our interaction with this agency that is government funded but not regulated. So we get forced into a side program that's being done because it's in the middle of the pandemic. It's being done via internet, and he was what, 11 or 12 at the time. They were trying the
No,
guidance.
he was 13.
Oh, the 13, sorry.
Oh,
The
hormones.
counselor, using that term loosely, wanted us to eat food off of one another. He's not even my biological child. And they thought it was appropriate for me to take food samplings off of his bare skin, his face, his shoulder, his hands, and he was to reciprocate to me. This
That's
is a
crazy.
fucking government-funded program that they tried to train my child that sexual interaction with an adult is okay.
We gotta do a program on that, man. We gotta come back and do that one. Yeah, we gotta address that. We gotta address that in the program.
It's all sociological classes. We'll get into that another time because I'm sure you guys would be.
But believe me, if you saying this and this is true, believe me.
No, but it is.
This is not the first time you're gonna hear.
It is.
We run another program. People gonna come out the woodwork and say, "Hey, same thing happened to me."
No. You know why I know it is? Because I made the mistake of looking up transsexual surgery, where they're lopping off little kids' sex organs and gluing it onto the other child, and which is big business now.
Yeah.
I am so sorry this happened to you guys. I am so sorry.
Man, that's crazy.
But that's this program.
That's his program. That program. That's how I was trying to destroy you, right there. Oh,
and Canada is taken. I mean, for years, victims of horrible sexual abuse by the government in Canada.
They was trying to use the child to destroy y'all.
Yeah, listen.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the way.
Years, the native populations in Canada was used in horrific sexual programs by government, by the Canadian government. And for years, many people spoke about these programs being inflicted on them. And now what it is they're just coming to the surface. I mean, it's bad here in the United States too. In the United States, they're telling children how to insert dildo. I'm done. I'm done. This place is done. This place needs to be burnt to the ground.
I've been saying it and saying it and saying it.
This place needs to be burnt to the ground.
Sick with it.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sick to deviant. I'm talking about, I get tired of it. I get so tired of it.
All right, guys.
Wow. I'm shocked.
Sorry, I got you all worked up. We gotta go.
Yeah, let's go.
We'll absolutely
we'll come back for part 2 because we can talk about that because it's a program.
Oh yeah.
And it's a program. And the program, what you guys need to start is Project IBIS. Read it. Go to just look at Project IBIS, James Caswell Project IBIS. In there, it tells you how this program operates, and it just pushes the limits of human tolerance. All right, guys.
So how?
I gotta wrap up.
Can we give our
Big Ace, how can they reach you?
You can reach me at Power Development TV on YouTube. Everybody can go there and subscribe. Please subscribe. You can hear more of me, more of us, more Rainetta. We're here to stay. We'll be back.
You can just you can find me on Rumble, Black Sunrise. Okay, so guys, just understand. Listen, you're not a failure. It's a program. You're not a criminal. It's a program. You're not a pervert. You're not a pervert. It's a program. You don't.
When would this be aired?
Huh?
When would this program be aired?
I'm actually going to put it together tonight, and I'm going to put it out right now.
Okay.
Oh man, I'd love to see it. So I go to
I'll send you the link.
Mine's on March 4th. Yeah, I'll send it to Rainetta and I'll send it to you via email.
Yeah.
I'll be able to see it tonight.
Yeah, I'll have it uploaded tonight.
Oh man, beautiful.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
You're not a pervert. You're not a criminal. You're not a failure. You're not a bad parent. Okay, you're not a drug addict. You're none of those things. It's all weapons. You're not crazy.
When you need me, man, hey, you got my hookup. Just get at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do this and we got to do this again. You need me, call. Hit me.
Thank you.
Media, you got me, man. I support y'all, man.
Okay.
And anybody else.
Love you guys. It's all weapons. Don't believe it. Love you guys.
Thank
Bye.
Love
you.
you. Thank you, Rainetta.
Thank you, Big A. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Big
All
Ace.
right. We need